We are doing SEO audits to help you fix things that could be costing you views and watch time. Whether you're watching this live or the replay, there's going to be a lot of value here today. We also do a lot of the things that I'm doing here live in our Discord server, which you could join in the description down below. Without further delay, let's get started here today. So, if you are brand new to the stream, we do these things in a few ways. You can enter by typing in the chat the keyword that I'll have on screen so that you can easily see what is up. So if you're trying to join in the giveaway, one of the easiest ways to do so is by entering the word in chat. The more you participate, the more likely you are to be chosen. So I'm going to go ahead, have the word on screen. And in fact, I'll be on screen with the word because everybody's heard about the word. So here we are. We have KDCC, hashtag KDCC. That should be all you need to type in today. And it's pretty simple. Look, what we're focusing on is how you can be a little bit more involved when it comes to your own YouTube channel. I've looked at hundreds to thousands of YouTube channels, and a lot of them are doing the same kind of thing. Another way we are picking YouTube channels is if you look in our Discord server. So I want to go ahead and make sure we are doing that too. In our Discord, you will see how you can do it. All you have to do is go to review how to on the left hand side, type in /review. Do so by typing in /review. It'll give you what kind of review you're looking for. You can say channel, playlist, video title, description, video length, pacing, audio, engagement, editing, analytics. You have to share photos for this one. So let's say I want a general channel review. What that will do, I hit enter after I've selected that. I then can say, is my channel clear to you on its value? So as we're doing this, I would enter in my channel name. And the beauty of doing this is when you do a YouTube review here, and if I can actually put in my link correctly, you can ask in-depth questions. The more you give, the better results you get, right? So is my channel clear to you on its value? I could say I have been creating content for 10 plus years. When you look at my YouTube channel, does the value make sense and is it clear? You can submit, and what's going to happen is it's going to make a brand new thread, and that's where people can review your YouTube channel, your anything, right? So we're focused on this today. If you're joining us live, like Kathehfit, welcome Kathy, great to see you. You can easily join us for this. And so I want to make sure we make it clear. There's two ways you can do it. If you are live here, you can type in the chat, and the word is KDCC. So all you have to do is type in hashtag KDCC into the chat. If you're watching the replay, go to join the Discord. We can also do those there. And this is something I want to make sure we're doing to give back to the community. I love taking a look at channels. We have some already, but if you're just joining us, I'll make sure to put this word on screen so that you can easily, join in, get your channel looked at. So the word for today is hashtag KDCC. Let me make sure I add in that hashtag before I forget. You do need to mention the hashtag, but it's pretty simple. So all you gotta do, type in hashtag KDCC. Hello, Living with Parkinson. Great to see you. For KDCC, Kathy says for kicks. Well, I have to say, Kathy, I've looked at your channel before, and I know what I'm looking for. So if I don't see any of those last updates, you will be called out publicly on failure to do those last updates. I've talked to you and Beanie about it. Welcome, Doug. Good to see you. Got more people joining in. If you're looking, type in hashtag. She says, Yug, you put yourself in this situation, right? So she goes, Andrew. Look, I mean it. You either do or do not. There is no try. Now with that, I want to make sure we are looking at the different YouTube channels that we have an option here for. So if you're just joining us, this is the Can Do Creator Community Discord, Can Do Creators Community. We have a lot of sections here, but where we're going to tell you to get started on today is I want you to go ahead and go to YouTube reviews. If you're looking to review someone else's, you can see who needs help by, if anyone's replied. The way our review system works on the server is if you are looking for feedback, you get one for free. You can post your first review absolutely for free, but to get another one, you must then review someone else. So we have this one here. Now, I have not seen this, but it is the Doctor. How would you improve the hook? This isn't really a channel review, right? So this is where I need to check what they have asked for in the previous one. So this needs review. They're looking for hook, but they said they're looking for a channel review. So the more information you give, because this is not a channel review and they asked for something else, this is one where I would have to say the more info you give, the better we can do. So I will pass. This one says channel review as well. Looking for an actual channel review. This is something we can do together. So as I am pulling up this YouTube channel, this is my first time looking at it. So they are doing type beats, which is a unique kind of content style. Now, if you don't know what a type beat is, no worries. They are usually a producer in music. I could not have said that in a less cool way, I have to say. But just for education purposes, this is usually someone who is very skilled in music production and is creating music and content for that kind of thing. So I'm going to make sure you can focus more on the channel. I will say, I was able to get this by the channel names. And if you're following along, I would say you should definitely keep in mind that the about here, the channel banner, and the channel avatar are going to do a lot of heavy lifting for us to know what they're about. I'm going to pose this question to you in the audience, and if you're watching the replay, please answer. Without this information, because you got to remember, YouTube looks at it all at once. Could you tell what kind of channel this is? Because even though I was able to gather it, I was able to gather it by the, the channel trailer, which is helpful. But when it comes to the banner and a little bit about the about, but I'd have to understand what prod means. Not really. And I think that's something that as we continue to go through, it's important to point these things out because you have to remember a lot of times new viewers have never seen our content before. They have no idea what we're about. And so, we have producer by Granty. I'll make sure I'll put in the comments of this that we have looked at his YouTube channel because he posted it on the Discord server. We're also doing them. If you type in KDC, hashtag KDCC, we are doing them here in the chat. So already not bad, but I would definitely consider that I have no idea what he's about based on what is the clear, large signals that we get. Now, because he has an about and because he has a channel trailer, I can see a little bit more. Let's go here. This is a huge opportunity. So I can see his BeatStars. I'd actually probably put that above his Instagram, but maybe the Instagram play is a little bit different. You're going to know what you need to know for your unique audience. Gmail, I wouldn't put because you already have the view email address. And as you grow, you don't want it to be super, unless maybe that's how you make a lot of your monies. Maybe that's what you're going for. But I would definitely say you keep your email to your email. I would write out more, explain the kind of type beats you're doing, right? So already that should be helpful for a user because if I want to use or work with you, I see future X21 Savage type beat. So you could write, first I would put your channel name. I'm ProdByGrantt. I'm assuming Grant, I'm 100% sure. And you can say I'm a young producer with big dreams. And that just gives them a little bit more context and it helps YouTube put your content in front of people. You can say I do future type beats, 21 Savage type beats, and then I do Young Thug type beats, 808 Mafia type beats, and all these different kind of type beats that you are doing can then be more associated with your channel. They can also be in your channel and a channel keyword. So as we're going through this and as we are kind of doing this together, you're going to learn that some of the things that work and kind of fit here could fit for your own YouTube channel. And it's important that we take a look at it and we do these things because otherwise, if we don't know, and as an audience, if I'm struggling to figure out what kind of content you're making, imagine what kind of a new audience. Now, yes, you could say, yeah, they can see it if they go to the videos, but you have to remember that's only one place people can go. And a lot of times they go multiple places. So I would tell you it's not bad, but it could be a little bit better. So I always say that the multiple ways that you look here is, I see you have a community post, not bad. He said, all my homies and friends, happy New Year's, and I wish we all win in life, not bad. Just again, the more you give YouTube, the easier it is to understand what kind of content you're doing, the better it'll be. And I would separate, I see a playlist, so hopefully you should treat these playlists, because you're a music artist, these are your albums. Every single album or every single type beat of an artist that you've done should be in one. Now I see Realm of Nirvana, Dizzy Izzy, Locked in the Trap. So there are some that are kind of grouped together, but the more groupings that you can do for your different kinds of music and your different kind of type beats, the better it'll do overall. I actually have worked with a few type beat channels back in the day and have found decent success in doing that. Again, you want to make this easy for artists, producers, anyone searching. Again, YouTube is a search engine. Make sure you're keeping that in mind. And another thing you can do, and this goes for lots of different channels, is you can go to trends.google.com. We can do type beat and see what's up. So maybe I'm looking for DJ Mustard type beat. And I can see there's trends. This is the past 24 hours. What I tell you is go broader. So in the past 3 months, maybe not, maybe there's a different way people are searching. They could also just type mustard type beat, but we can also do type beat. So it's another way we can do it, and we can see different results. And as we go broader here, we'll see different kind of results. This is the newer version of Google Trends, by the way. They're always exploring how to better show this data. I'm going to go to a worldwide because a lot of times the audience is worldwide. So we have type beat over here. We've got DJ Mustard. We can go to YouTube search in particular to make sure. And maybe I just type in mustard type beat. Hopefully that makes more sense. It didn't really move the needle. We'll just go to type beat. And again, we can see free type beat is being searched. We can see different kind of artist type beat in their search interest. So if you're trying, again, to do a specific type beat, this is where looking up what is rising, what is falling. So trap type beat, if you're doing a little bit more, it tells you the interest, indicates popularity. So these give you an idea of what people are wanting and looking for. And as it goes in, you might see that the kind of type beats you're doing are not super searched for. And again, it's not all about search, but it helps to understand what YouTube is recommending and what people are looking for. And it can kind of help you create those playlists to get you more interest. So again, I'm going to make sure that I link to this live stream and let them know that, hey, I went ahead, ProdByGrantt, and reviewed this live here. Check it out, and I hope to answer your questions. He's wondering if it looks good or not. It doesn't look bad, but I struggle to know what they're about without much more. Now I see Beanie's in the house. I see Kathehfit. I see Doug. What are your thoughts on this channel without that deeper level or without me knowing a little bit more of this subject? I'm always curious because here's the thing, and this goes to multiple kinds of YouTube channel, and I'm not above this. I make these mistakes sometimes too. One of the biggest mistakes we can make on YouTube channels is assuming it's clear to the audience what we do. A lot of times what we do, we know it like the inside and out of that whole idea. But our audience, they might be brand new to a thing. If you're starting a YouTube channel, one of the best things you can do is be a beginner again. Every winner was once a beginner. So if you are trying to understand what it looks like for your YouTube channel, look at it as a pure beginner. Remember the last time you looked for something and then make sure you're following through. So this comes from Beanie. It almost looks a bit auto-generated, which may not be what you're going for, producer ProdByGrantt. And I also might be mispronouncing your name. I do apologize. If you've watched these streams before, you know that unfortunately for me, pronunciation is not my strongest suit. But what I do know well is what YouTube is looking for, audiences are looking for, and how we can use those. Because in the reality is the playlist not being set up properly is costing you views, therefore watch time. Because if I want to listen to all of your type beats of a certain kind, it's not here. These are your albums. So again, let's bring this back up. These are your albums. It's in the playlist page. Now you're also, I noticed that YouTube's already identifying that some of these are musical songs. So I'm assuming it's because your connection with BeatStars is a pretty good one. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a beginner again. Haven't published in multiple years. Loads up DaVinci while listening. Hey, every winner's once a beginner and published beats perfect every time. That's something I really do believe, because a published video can earn views, watch times, etc. But a perfect video may never get there. Now, we're going to continue searching. We have different channel reviews, right? So looking for a channel review, this is from EMUC. If you are looking to, they seem to have left the server. So I will not be able to take a look at the channel because, well, you're no longer here. It does take time for some of these reviews. Let's go ahead. This one's a little older. I see that Stanley has taken a look. They're still in the server. Looking for a channel review? Any ideas why my videos aren't taking off is because of thumbnails. This really isn't a channel review, but it is more of a overall thing, and thankfully Stanley has taken it. If you're ever looking, this is a really good spot for what you need. Hopefully Jamie's still in our server. This they are. I only have 2 videos working on more. Just wondering if there's anything to improve. We'll bring you up. And I see some of what Stanley is saying. There's a lot to improve. I would say that as someone who is brand new to your channel, not a lot here. So let's go ahead and pull it up. So we're looking at Jamie's channel. Stanley went ahead and gave us a little bit of an insight here. You're putting some solid work. You were obviously inspired by greats, and you've captured exceptionally the storytelling, the editing, all very. As a result of reflecting channel performance, 2 videos, 60 subs, and 2,500 videos is well above average. You know, it's highly derivative, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like anyone, you are going to need to spend a few videos finding your voice. What do you bring to this space that makes you different? He's just giving general advice. So here's the thing. With only 2 videos for Jamie, this isn't bad. And also, if you're just joining, I see we have a couple more people joining us. You can type in the word on screen to get your opportunity to get your channel looked at. We're doing channel reviews together. It's been a lot of fun. So I just want to make sure that we do all this. Type in hashtag KDCC. We're pulling from the chat. We're pulling from the Discord. We're doing a lot of stuff. Beanie says, I will say, for whatever reason, the Discord format is slightly confusing, but only because the new way Discord does things. It's fancy, but I'm visually working out the system again. I genuinely, and this is my own bias as someone who is, and I do see it needs to be the hashtag. So I saw just KDCC. It's very particular for StreamYard. It needs to be hashtag there. So I've always struggled with this one because a lot of times Discord servers, and here's something we can actually go through together. Our Discord server is pretty much labeled for whatever you're looking for. Every single thing is explained in the start here section. So if you're looking for like what to do, we have where you should go, how long it takes, where to go for what you need. And again, every single question we have taken a lot of time to fill out and answer. And so if you're ever confused, Beanie, I highly recommend checking out the new to Discord section because we spent a lot of time on it. And if you think there's still questions, please let us know. Because unfortunately, a lot of times people will have that thought, but they don't tell us. And I kind of find out a little later. But we've really done a lot of work to answer this question. You know, I will say for whatever reason, Discord format is slightly confusing. Again, as someone who's used Discord for so long, and I've used Slack, who's used all these multiple different chat systems. You know, it's funny, people could understand Skype, which is not as intuitive, but then they struggle on Discord. So that's always, you know, RIP Skype, but just some food for thought there. Now, as we go back to Jamie's channel, keep in mind this is a newer channel. All I know is I make weird videos. And here's the thing is I make weird videos. Could be so much more descriptive. So first off, I would say, hi, I'm Jamie McManus, which is, I believe, how you pronounce that. I make weird videos about blank, and then that leads you opportunity to write different things. Now, the thing also you should keep in mind is that if people don't know what you are doing, this is your opportunity, right? So I'm seeing like sleep paralysis. I tried lucid dreaming. It seems there's a theme around dreaming. And yes, you can make weird videos, but it could be weird videos about, and then you could put keywords. So it could be dreaming, if this is kind of the focus you want to do. It could be about sleep, which is another thing. I have a whole live stream, and I'll make sure to link on in the description on how to set up your YouTube channel properly. It's goes really deep. It's an hour conversation. Some of the people in the stream are already there, but it's very important because if you don't know how to set this up, please go watch it. It's very important. So already those are keywords you can have in your about that can help YouTube better serve your content. Now I see you have post. I'll show you how it's done. Hold my beer. It's not bad. But again, I don't have a lot to go off of. For shorts, I see you have one. I tried to get sleep paralysis. And with the hashtags here, or sleep paralysis, YouTube shorts, I would say those are actually more descriptive than I'm seeing here. I would make some YouTube playlist. I would say something fun like fighting sleep demons one upload at a time, if that's kind of the theme you're going for. I would say there's so much more we can do here. Also, it seems that, on multiple devices, there's so much space for creativity in your banner. This might just be something you're trying and doing up for fun. Nothing wrong with that, but there's so much we could do in terms of just getting more information here. And I'm sure on the TV screen, there's even more space. It's not being utilized, right? So when I'm looking at your YouTube channel, I'm wanting more. And I think that's a good thing, but it's also, I have not a lot of clue of when you upload. And because you're a newer channel, I would say it's a little difficult because that is the situation when it comes to, I don't have enough information. So it's really hard for me to add more because I don't know. All you tell me is subscribe. If I'm a new viewer, and a lot of people are, what am I subscribing for? Subscribing for more sleep challenges, which is something. Subscribe for what? I know it's you, but maybe you could put more of you in your YouTube so it's a little more inviting for me, the viewer. Because at the moment, it's a little hard to tell. So that's just some food for thought. I haven't been grading, but if I were to go back to producer by Granty, I would probably say this is a solid, I'd give this a C+. Like, your target audience, what you're here to do. You make good content. I'm seeing decent viewership. You have some decent focus. However, I would love a lot more. How many, or can I use your songs? How does your song usage work? Like, that's where your about could be filled out. I would love any hint of music in the banner, because right now I don't necessarily know that's a banner. Similarly for you, Jamie, I would say I'd probably give you a solid C, a normal C. Like, clearly you have an idea of the audience you're trying to build. It seems to be around sleep, but I could be so wrong. And I have no clue, which is why it's a C, maybe leaning towards C-. So the chat, please let me know which of those two make more sense for you, because it's a little confusing here for me. Stanley says, hi, Mac. Mac, welcome to the stream. Hopefully, if you are looking to get a channel review, all you got to do is type in hashtag KDCC. It is on the screen down here, if I can remember. So it looks like it's to the little bit left of the mic for you, or right of the mic for me. I guess right of the mic for you too. Sorry, thinking of the different things. I already started figuring out, I guess I just need to open it at the right time of the morning, says Beanie, talking about the Discord server. Opening it at the right time definitely helps. If you are looking, again, for the channel reviews, the way this works is you go to review how to, type in /review, and then follow the on-stream prompts. If you're looking for a more specific review, let me hide Beanie. Fill out the ones you're looking for. Let me hide the banner. And this is going to let you fill this out to what you're looking for. The more info you give us, the better. If you're looking for video editing, I actually made a thread myself. This one is the one I replied to earlier. So if you want, you can unfollow a post, which means you won't see it in your feed anymore. This one is the post I made for the example. So yeah, that's just different ways you can do it. Once you make your post here, it shows up in the YouTube review section. And this is where people can look for a variety of different things. Ideally, if you're looking for needs reviewed, these are people that still need a channel review. We go in once they have been reviewed, and we go ahead and change the tag from needs review to reviewed so that people can get an idea. So that's just a quick way this kind of works. So yeah. And I'm seeing Mac, it does need to be capitalized, hashtag KDCC. It's StreamYard's a little sensitive. The other way to do it is just as I explained. So yeah, we're waiting for more folks to join. It's been a lot of fun. I love getting to look at the channels here. We have different ways we're going to be doing these reviews. And one of the ways is we're going to be looking at video titles, thumbnails, descriptions that could use a revamp. So if you guys are looking for a specific YouTube title or thumbnail for me to look at deeper, that's the beauty of joining live. We just looked at some of the ones from the Discord as people were funneling in. I'm worried for my grade now, says Anna. Look, I'm a notoriously challenging grader. I apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mac. We're so close. It's KCC. I'm so sorry. I don't see your entry. I just want to make sure before we draw, we have it. From Beanie. So the thumbnail of each view post seems to be the channel icon, speaks to the importance of your YouTube display pic without saying what your channel is about. That's more of a Discord default, but it is a good valid point. And again, he's talking about the Discord. So a lot of times it is just pulling up the channel. That's just kind of how Discord functions with how our bot is working. So yes, that is correct. And that's not a bad observation, Beanie. And yes, I've been known to be a harsh grader. You got to earn your A+ here. I'm wondering why anyone is clicking, which means the titles themselves are decent because thumbnails are generally AI looking, but it's a good start for Jamie. Fair enough. So many people are trying to imitate Mr. Beast with the whole subscribe banner. Very true. But Mr. Beast is to a point where he's so known he doesn't need to do that, although he still could benefit from it. If he were gentler, you wouldn't learn as much, says Beanie. Thank you. All right. Well, we've had some people join in. Yeah, that can show up. That is definitely a traditional one. It's funny because a lot of times when people do that, they're like, why is no one subscribing? Well, technically, you could argue it's false advertising if you don't actually give them the cookie. Although I know it's a joke. And you could also say it's just the cookies in your but let's go. KDCC hashtag. We have 3 people in. Let's see who gets picked. It could be anyone. I'm excited. You never know who you're going to get to look at today. That's part of the fun. And it looks like Kathehfit. Now, Kathy, I've already given you feedback. I know you're in our membership. If you're in our membership, I know you know better. And I know we've had conversations about this. So with that, I want to make sure what you're doing is following the best practices. I saw you in that different member meeting and in our last live stream about membership. So there's no reason not to. Real help for real YouTube growth. You're wondering what our membership is. We do have a membership, although most of what we do for free is for free, but we have some extra value in our membership. So some people are like, what do you mean members? We have the channel member, but that's just if you want to support the channel. But our deeper membership is over in Fourth Wall. So just wanted to make sure we said that. So with this, I want to make sure that I'm pulling up Kathehfit and that we're looking at the channel proper because this does matter. All of what we're doing matters here today. And so as I'm pulling up Kathy's channel, I will go ahead and say the next one we're looking at is going to just be very simply a weight that you can enter for your channel review. Now, if I am unable to, take a look at your channel today, please join the Discord. We do so much when it comes to the Discord. And it's really a good opportunity for you to get your channel looked at in a different way. Now, one thing I always try to do, and I try to show this to people, is how does their YouTube channel show up in search in general? Because if I can't find it when I'm typing it in, that could be a unique challenge. I should be able to find your channel, so let's start there. And thankfully for Kathehfit, I can find her channel. Now, here is what we're looking for. Right away, we see Kathy. We see the updated about. Now, one thing I will keep in mind, Kathehfit helps you, the baddie, feel confident and sexy. So here's the thing, and I love YouTube and I love AI. Well, there's a little bit of sarcasm there. But the truth is that sometimes YouTube goes on a different path. I have seen words cause issues for YouTube channels because what you meant and how YouTube took it could be different. So when that happens, it's very important just to be mindful that, I understand this is what you're trying to do, feel confident and sexy, nothing wrong with that. But if YouTube thinks this is more adult skewing by one word, that can cause issues because YouTube is using AI and AI can be wrong. Move your whole body and stay active with dance-based fitness. So I like the idea of feel confident. I would maybe consider sexy to be replaced with something like free, because I would hate for YouTube to misconstrue something and then it puts you on a different path. And that's not what you're going for. So already before we go there, That's what we're looking at. We're looking at titles and stuff today. So I want to take a look at your most recent video because that's what a new viewer would see first. Fun holiday dance workout, Christmas fun. Not bad. What I would tell you though is because this is a Christmas video and we're 3 weeks removed, that's not a bad thing. It's just a difference of how people are coming to the channel. I would also say that I would highly recommend custom thumbnails. This one might be a custom thumbnail, but it kind of just looks like a still image of the video. I do think that you can't miss out here. I will say a Kathehfit, transforming you into a confident baddie by building strength and mastering new dance moves. This is fine. This is actually pretty good when I look at your channel banner. I would like to know when you're helping me do this, because when are my dance classes? If I'm signing up for dance class and my instructor doesn't tell me when I can come to dance, when am I supposed to come and show up to dance? Also, I am not viewing this on TV, but I do hope that you remember that desktop has this space, and that there's spots up here for TV design and viewership. Chantel Hill's friend of the channel has a really great banner graphic all about that. So just something to think about, especially Beanie and Kathy. The next thing I will say is that, you know, when I'm looking here, YouTube says, and this is something a lot of people don't know about custom thumbnails. Custom thumbnails, YouTube, and I type in help. Because then what ends up happening, add videos. It explains how to, but there's a specific one about YouTube, add video thumbnails on YouTube. Is this it? There was a really more helpful one I was looking at. It might be under A/B testing. It was from YouTube themselves, and it was talking about why you would want to do so. A/B testing YouTube support. I think it's, where is it? You can now A/B test titles. Yes. Where is it? Come on. I love YouTube, but sometimes even their own systems I struggle with, because I know it well, but like finding specific articles on here can sometimes be, it might be test and compare. That's what YouTube calls it. This is it. This is the early access about it. So this is why I love YouTube, but I also struggle with it. Let's go back to Kathy. Just something to think about as we're going through. It's kind of suggested using a still frame that's most dynamic for thumb because it shows, yes, but it's also not a custom thumbnail. That's just a still. You still need to put in that effort. Would custom thumbnails for dance and fitness niche work? Yes. YouTube literally says thumbnail. Like, I'm trying to find it, but it's a direct quote. It's a 90% improvement for a custom thumbnail. I've kind of looked at 1 million as a standard for her dance and fitness style of thumb. That might work for 1 million the same way that I've seen you, Beanie, say you can't follow the advice of Mr. Beast. Kathy, you can't follow the advice of someone else when we don't have the same understanding. And also, if you're talking about 1 million dance as the, like 1 million dance official, that's a completely different ball game. And let me just share, if this is what you're comparing to, this is not apples to apples. This is one, a channel that is using the names of very searched people, and that because those people are so known, they're likely to get clicked. And a lot of times what I'm noticing is that these stills are not performing as well for the channel size. Some of them do, some of them don't. It's not exactly what I would use because it's not comparable to what you're trying to do with yourself, Kathehfit here, because this is an established channel. And that would be like, well, you know, in the NBA, LeBron James sometimes does the chalk thing and he's a star, so I'm going to do the chalk thing and get better. No, there's a lot of other things we got to do first. Beanie says, I guess I'm trying more distinguished custom as in pose photo versus shot from the video, and our text on thumbs important. They can be. You got to A/B test, Beanie. Always be testing. I'm going to tell you right now that when I look at Kathy's channel, this is where you could see, based on what's actually working, you know, it looks like some of these custom ones are doing better than the non ones. And you also have to remember that as a viewer, this one to me doesn't scream that, like, this doesn't look like there, it looks like you forgot a thumbnail. Similar with this one, where this one looks a little bit more on purpose. So my then question would be, if you're not, it's not about fame, it's about growing a successful YouTube channel that you can help the most people of. If you're only doing this for fun, then I'll end the channel review right here and say, good luck. Have fun. But if you're in a channel review stream and you're looking for guidance and you've joined memberships, you're not just doing it for fun, you're doing it for a deeper message, deeper meaning. So there's a difference there, right? And I would say, look, fun doesn't get the bills paid. If things were just for fun, you know, a lot of times things are fun, but it doesn't mean they're going to do what you need. So I'm just be mindful when you're doing that. Now, as we're going through, the next one, all you have to type in is SEO. I would argue, if you use a screen grab for thumbnail viewer, yes, exactly right, HomeRapidRepair. Even if it is just Kathy in the workout or in what you're going to do in the dance, posing, and one of the poses you're going to do in the dance, that in itself gives people a little bit more understanding. It does work after you are very well known and trusted, yes. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that these kind of thumbnails only work for an established creator. And it's not that you're not established, Kathy, but if I'm brand new and I don't know you yet, there are some that might be a little bit more appealing, right? If we go to your popular ones, 3 meals prep 7 years ago, there are some where you have different poses, and like this one might be working, but it's also 10 years ago. This one here, which has like, this looks like a custom one where it shows intermediate and advanced, gives a side by side, though the text is very hard to read on it. And also, because I'm in your way, you won't be able to read it. So let me get out of the way. So like looking here, Bootylicious moves along, all level booty shake, dance follow along. When it comes to these things, immediately what I'm seeing is you go right into the value. You're immediately dancing. Note this routine has some advanced options. So we're teaching. Now, I don't know when I'm watching this, I'm assuming there's no transcript, right? I'm assuming you're just going right into the dance. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm asking for a particular reason. So if there is no transcript and there is nothing, are you communicating on screen, or is this just, it says follow along and it gives me next, and this isn't bad. I do like though, pop that, I like all these different things, walk that back, the shift side to side. What I would tell you though, is a lot of these you could add in the transcript, and you could add in the movements as chapters. So if people want to follow along and go back to, you know, different ways to do this, is there a reason you're just dancing, or do you plan to like break this down in different ways? Like, I'm, again, as someone who is not in your traditional genre, Kathehfit, are you just doing this to dance and show people your skill, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But are you also trying to educate? Are you trying to teach people? Are you just like, what is the ultimate goal? Because for me, you know, when I go back to your channel banner and it says transforming you into a confident baddie by building strength and mastering new dance and fitness moves, that is a clear mission. And I would love to do this. If I'm into dance, this is what I'm looking for. There are some that I think when they have that kind of custom banner and they're really focused in on it, it really connects. But also, I'm not necessarily your target audience. So look at your impressions. How many impressions are you getting? When it comes to your titling, you know, and visual cues, yes. And yeah, I think there's a time for a showcase and there's a time just for the dancing. And I think combining those two things can go well, and visual cues, absolutely. So, my video updates, I would change that to your channel name, because who is my, and if I'm YouTube, how is my connected to the YouTube channel? And it's a little vague. Whereas if you put this, it makes a little more sense. Warm up and pre-dance has no description. So like, is the idea that I watch a pre-dance, then I follow along? Because as a viewer, there's like, I'm a little confused, right? Now the isolation warm-ups make sense to me. So if I click in here, get ready to dance with this quick and effective isolation warm-up. In just under 5 minutes, you'll loosen your joints and prepare your body in any dance style. This routine focuses on isolating key areas like your neck, shoulder, chest, and hips to ensure you're fully warmed up. Perfect. Now, in the video itself, do you say that? Also, if I were you, Kathehfit, with chapters, first off, that YouTube has changed how chapters work. This is how it used to be. Now it is just the solo one here. So make sure you go back and update that. And also describe what's happening in each movement so people can go back. Beanie, they have shown up for years. It is not a now thing. This is years old. Beanie, I can tell you from like 2019, they have shown up in YouTube channels. So this is not new. Yes, Tech in my last YouTube video. I talked about in my last live stream, we talk about channel, how to set up your YouTube channel for success. We talked about a playlist live stream. I haven't forgotten. That's on the roadmap. But I wanted to give back and do some channel reviews. So again, if you're trying to get your channel looked at, don't forget the word to type in is SEO. All you got to do is type in SEO. We're also pulling from some of the people that might be posting here. So if you post here between now and then, that's something to think of. I have to update old videos. Yes, YouTube's constantly making changes. And then another thing you have to remember is YouTube is using the transcript feature. So let me go ahead and put myself to this side so we can look at the transcript here together. Thank you. I'm walking in an empty town. Is this the music in the background? I'm assuming this is the background music. So here's the thing, and this, I love YouTube, but this is one of those things where it can cause some harm. YouTube uses transcript to make sure what's happening in video matches what's going on. So, because it's music it's hearing, YouTube might think, where's the empty town? It said that there's an empty town. There's no special gifts. Is this clickbait? Beanie says, oh, true. So, one thing you could do is go in and delete the bad closed captioning it's giving you, because and it's not bad, it's probably just listening to the song, but it doesn't understand that nuance of, hey, not what I'm going for here, YouTube, but thank you for the enthusiasm. I mean, that's how they're verifying what you title, describe, and are saying in the video match. And with it's literally one of those situations. This could be costing you views and watch time because YouTube doesn't know what this video is about. Yes, it can scan individual frame by frame by using Google Image AI, but I don't know how well it understands dance. And you got to remember, it's looking at all the little individual things too. So it is definitely one of those situations where this could also be harming your channel. Now, I would say, you like dance, fitness over 25, come join me. Not a bad short. I would caution that there's no description on the channel page, and I'd actually maybe make this a quick 60:9 version and then say, hey, if you want to get started, click on this playlist, click on that playlist, click on this playlist, click on that playlist. Can't wait to dance with you. Just some quick things you could do. I don't mind the short, but I would also get them started on a dance in the related shorts. Because one thing people make a mistake of is they assume that the related short means it needs the same short. If it was, that would mean same shorts. So my question is, what's the video you're telling people to click on next from this? Ugh, I gotta watch it on my phone for the full effect. But that's just more food for thought. This is only a 13-second short. On my For You, I will say that 10-minute core party here, the follow along, I will say the video production and like I love the modifications on screen. I think this is so inclusive. I think it's very impressive what you're doing. I also think since you're wearing an Apple Watch, it might be cool for you to share at the end, like, hey, here are some of my stats. Share yours in the comments, right? If you're using a fitness tracker, interact with me, share these things with me. I want to know, because that's the one, the new view one. This one, I do like this. I think it's helpful. Not the Apple Watch. It looks like an Apple Watch. My apologies. But if it still tracks fitness stuff, you should share it and encourage your audience to share that stuff with you. Yes. Actually, I would say transcript, Beanie. It's the most underrated. YouTube looks at transcripts so much to see if what you say in the video matches your title and description. So yeah. 10-minute choreo. This is hurting you. You definitely need to describe this a little bit better. It's not, you need to describe what this is. Join me for a 10-minute choreo fitness class. Follow along with chair modifications. I want you up dancing, something. Let's work on the cardio. Let's, put more description here. You have 200 characters. This is heavily underutilized for you, Kathehfit. This is a much better description. Why is this so far down? This should be here. What? I'm so confused. Now, if there's no transcript again, yeah, I would definitely go in here, because it is definitely not understanding. Because unless through dance, you're YouTube's initial transcript thought it was a potty mouth too. Oh, brother, I understand this one way too much. If Licked is requiring you to have all this info up top, you still can describe the video and have this be above the fold. Well, this is technically not at the top of the description anyway. You're not doing it exactly to what they're looking for. They mean it needs to be in the first line. I would tell you that it's not a bad thing, but also there's a free tool within YouTube themselves. So if you go to your studio and then you go to the audio library, they do allow licensing of actual like music from real artists as well as, mainstream artists. So these are things you can keep in mind. So it also tells you if you need to do attribution. There's a lot you can do. So I would tell you Licked isn't bad, and it does give you access to a lot of those songs. But even if that's what they're asking you for, this one is not following to their description. And I wonder why they're doing that, because this should be up here, then the licensing. It's very interesting. Obviously, maybe that's what they're wanting, but technically speaking, while it's in the description, it's not at the top. The top of the description usually means before the fold, and that is all after the fold. So just a heads up for you two, that's not following correctly. I will drop a like though. So when I'm looking here, Kathehfit, for you, there's a lot of room for improvement across the board. I want to see some more YouTube descriptions on some of these. You have some descriptions. They've been showing on YouTube channel page for a while, at least, from 2018, so 7+ years now. I think the For You here I'm seeing is within the last year. That's not bad. It's giving an idea. The For You section is based on my viewer habits on if it thinks I would like it. So this isn't bad, but I will say there needs to be more thought, more intentionality when it comes to the custom thumbnail. It needs to have a little bit more thoughts on what is for me, the viewer, to come back to. And that's as simple as telling me when you post. It's as simple as going, hey, on your new channel banner, what is it that I'm looking for? I see you completely removed your channel trailer. That's not what I told you to do, but I've noticed it's been removed since viewing it, or it could be because I viewed it. But I would tell you that it's not bad. But it's interesting because I see like this kind of style in shorts works a little bit better. But I would tell you, you're a talented dancer. I've seen your stuff over the years. And I think that a simple pose like this and then some text to the right or left that is similar to like, funky moves, things like that. Another thing you got to keep in mind, and I tell people this a lot, is that YouTube is not really good at identifying certain kinds of content. And I've seen this more lately, that the word sexy, especially with YouTube cracking down on teenagers on platform 16+, and Beanie, you'll love this because you're from Australia. Words like that can cause issues in being served broader, because that's not exactly safe for all ages. Even though I don't think the word sexy by, itself is super problematic. Like there's a song called Sexy and I Know It that was literally blasted on airwaves, but YouTube might think it's 18+. So just be mindful of those little things. Again, you can hope for human review, but a lot of it's AI these days, and even less than it used to be. So if I were to give you a grade, Kathy, I think that, talking more in your videos will help you a lot. I think having a little bit more focus on the custom thumbnails, because they matter. Like all those things matter so much. And it really does make all the difference. I'm looking for the right article from YouTube. I love, let's see. Not this one. Is it this one? I'm looking for a specific one. Sorry, but basically custom YouTube thumbnails have a 90% on average. Yeah, right here from what I was looking for. There we go. Finally found it. Trying to find an answer for what I was looking for. So now that I got it over here, this is what I was looking for. If you didn't know, fun fact, 90% of the best performing videos have custom thumbnails. 90%. 90% of the best performing videos have custom thumbnails. So that is huge. If you're wondering, should I have a custom YouTube thumbnail? YouTube themselves says that 90% of the best performing videos on YouTube have custom thumbnails. With A/B testing, you can even find out deeper. So if you want to try a simpler kind of thumbnail and a more advanced kind of thumbnail, consider A/B testing. Use those things. YouTube themselves says that 90% of the best performing videos have custom thumbnails. You might be lucky and in that 10%, but don't test your luck. A/B test it and test your results. That's my best advice. Confident, inviting. My dances aren't meant to be for kids. Yes, but it's a general audience, and you got to be careful that if YouTube thinks it's 18 plus, that is a different demographic, and that is explicitly adults. I want it to be for adults, yes, but you don't want it to be adults only. That is a huge difference. We already know about that, sigh. And that's fine. Confident inviting is a great other word, as HomeRapidRepair said. Maybe play various suggestive title, example 90% rock, bare naked ladies, etc. Yeah. That's the tough one, the balance between simple, custom, and complex. I would say that a lot of times when it comes to dancing thumbnails, like I've told you this, that you should definitely try to look at top dancing coaches. I think honestly, I would love Kathy to do like look at some successful dancers, right? One of the ones that comes to mind is Cameron Saunders, who is from Taylor Swift's Posse, who is a really good dancer. He has a lot of different techniques. Maybe you could do dancing like, and you teach people how they do their dance moves. So if you're trying to, teach people to develop your style, you must first learn basics. And here's a good person to learn basics from. Granted, I am saying this confidently, but it doesn't mean I know this for a fact. But Kathy, if I were to give you a grade right now, based on, what YouTube is looking at, I'd probably give you a solid C. I'm curious what the audience thinks. Here's the problem. That's you trying to work against how YouTube actually works. YouTube is not trying to pigeonhole users in a specific age range. It's trying to find the best viewer that will watch the content. It is very hard to actually only appeal to a specific age range. So you can say that, but in doing so, you are also excluding a huge age range. It's hard to do. It's not impossible. You could keep trying certain things, but you never can control it down to that granular of a level. It is a global platform. Again, if kids are interested in dance, which a lot are, and the content overall is dance focused, it's very challenging. Again, it's going based on viewer interest. I'm seeing this C- because you really need custom thumbnails that are more whammy, says Ember Sky Reviews. And then Tech Fairyana says at least B-. So the in between of a C- and that B- would probably be a C, which is where I was sitting at. I'm lucky where I don't have those sort of worries, says Beanie. But again, I don't want you to think that this is impossible, but it is a little more challenging than maybe you initially thought. And there's nothing wrong with that. And look, that's what we're here to do. We're looking at SEO. We're looking deep. We're looking at titles. We're looking at transcripts. We're going on that deeper level today. And if you know, it's hard. And this is very good point from Ember Sky Media. YouTube pushes dance shorts to kids significantly. Dancing is fitness. Fitness doesn't necessarily have a specific age. It's also art. Dancing is where fitness meets art. Genuinely. I'm so sorry, Mac Movement. I will be drawing again. So before you do that, who knows? SEO is the word, but I don't see Mac Movement here. Okay, who are we looking at? HomeRapidRepair, aka Larry. Let's take a look at this. And Kathehfit, before I look at Larry's YouTube channel, I hope you know this. YouTube is not easy. There are a lot of ups and downs. I know you've been doing this for a long time. I know you and Beanie have been working at this for a long time. I've sent you messages on the side that I love the efforts you guys are putting in. A lot of times, and this is something I've had to learn through you guys have seen me in many phases of my career. You've seen me at TubeBuddy, you've seen me pass. And a lot of what I've learned has worked for some of the largest channels in the world, down to individual small contributor channels. I don't say small channels, I say small contributing channels. What I mean by that, you don't have a full scale, you don't have a full team. Even a channel of 100 people fills a small theater. A lot of people discount that. 700 views is 700 subscribers is bigger than a graduating class. That is a huge reach. If that was in front of you in a dance class right now, Kathehfit, that'd be intimidating, at least for me. I don't know about you. Maybe you're built different. But I know you guys have been working at this for a long time. You really have. And the thing is, YouTube is trying to find viewer fit, what they're interested in with what you're creating. And you're in the service industry. You're in servitude of what you want to do and what the audience wants from you. You can do a 2-to-1 ratio, which is what I've been doing more, and it's been really working out. It's been a lot of fun. It brings me back to the basics. So when I'm looking at those things, that's what I'm thinking of. That's the level of how I look at these different things. Now, if you are wanting to get your YouTube channel looked at, this is a great opportunity for you to enter. The word is fit. Based on friend of the channel, Kathehfit. So fit is the word. If you're trying to get your YouTube channel looked at, type in fit in the channel, in the chat. That's where we're going. And if you're enjoying these YouTube channel reviews, let me know. What are you wondering when it comes to a YouTube channel review? Always curious. So, nice segue. Yeah, I'm good at, I've been told I know a segue or two. So the next thing we're looking at, HomeRapidRepair. Larry. Immediately, tools, Larry. Do it yourself, HomeRapidRepair. Lots of different ways you can do things yourself. Larry knows what he's talking about. HomeRapidRepair channel has a new videos every week. Home improvement videos, incredible. Who is it? How often are they doing it? Home improvement videos for clear value. Links right to his Amazon storefront. And then we start with how he's going to help me. He's helping me with my smoke detector beeps after my battery's replaced. He's helped me with sliding cracks fast, and he's talked about different ways you could do it. He's telling me what to stop using. He's telling me how to do this. But I'm not seeing. Where are my playlist descriptions? Best electrical videos. Could be more. What about them? What kind of electrical videos? Outlets, plates, grounding, things, so much more. Created playlists. We should have more of these. Complete bath. This one is a decent playlist, but there's only 3 videos. I want that same level of care in your playlist on all things. So let's go to Larry's most recent video, aka HomeRapidRepair. Before you buy, don't buy LVP flooring until you see this. Well, I got to see this before I buy it. And you know, LVP luxury vinyl planks are very popular. However, they have a lot of problems. Immediately, pretty good description. They have a lot of problems. I don't want that. We're going to see brand new luxury vinyl planks immediately. He's talking about LVP, luxury vinyl planks. One thing you could do, Larry, I'm going to go ahead and drop a like here. We see what he's talking about in his thumbnail, in his title, in his description, and in his transcript. Larry is on fire. Larry can't be stopped. Please stop him. I'm just kidding. But again, what is Larry doing well here? From an SEO standpoint, immediately, don't buy LVP flooring. I would maybe put, just for the better SEO here, I would maybe, and this is, we're getting nitpicky, I would put luxury vinyl planks, because I feel like that's just a way. Don't buy luxury vinyl planks, parenthesis LVP flooring, until you see this. I think that fits really well. It covers both. Obviously, it probably is doing fine, but just a small thing. Great to see you, Build with Mooney. Or Money. Again, it's trash. It's thin. We have lots. He's saying the word multiple times. Luxury vinyl planks. Luxury vinyl planks. YouTube knows this is about luxury vinyl planks. In your transcript, you could even put parenthesis LVP, Larry, to help. Again, we're getting really down and gritty to it, and I love what we're doing here. The more you mention it, the stronger it is. And I can see all the time he talks about luxury vinyl planks, if it'll work correctly. Or maybe it's because he didn't capitalize them. I love that YouTube doesn't do that. But we can see all the different times. What? It pulled it before? Hello? This is why I love YouTube sometimes. Search in video. He's mentioned it multiple times. It's not really. Beanie. Beanie. Just say you haven't watched my videos lately. It's okay. I've been screaming this for years. Yes, it matters. It matters so much. What's being spoken? If you're not sure, YouTube transcripts matter so much. YouTube transcripts is how YouTube verifies what you titled your video, what you described your video is actually being said in the video. It's the best way they have found to beat basically clickbait. If you are not talking about it in the video, it really matters. So again, YouTube transcripts are the best way that YouTube combats clickbait because they are checking if what you said in your video matches your YouTube video title, your YouTube video description, your YouTube video tags, and even your custom thumbnail. YouTube transcripts are an undervalued feature, and having good transcript not only makes your YouTube videos more accessible, but it's how YouTube can confirm what you are talking about in your video is also matching what you title, describe, and tag it as. So yes, Beanie, it matters. And Larry has mastered it here. So the only reason I would tell him to put in luxury vinyl planks is because he talks about it so much. And if he could easily, in parenthesis, every time you mention it, Larry, in the transcript, put LVP here, it just gives you extra bonus to what you have it. So if someone's looking that way. In fact, we still got trends up. Luxury vinyl planks. Okay, not so high searched here, but maybe on web. Higher searched on the web. We have luxury vinyl flooring, plank flooring. And now we're going to compare it to LVP. I could be wrong. I'm wrong. I think. Does LVP mean anything else? Let's make sure before, let's go. All right, people are looking for LVP flooring, and that's actually slightly higher than luxury vinyl planks. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know this term super well. It could be plank, could be even be more searched. So it's in red is luxury vinyl plank. They're looking for LVP. If we go to YouTube search though, it's still LVP is search more. So Larry knows his stuff. And I can be wrong, and Larry's right here. So I would still consider the parenthesis LVP because it's still a teachable moment, and you can also have it in the description. So overall, Larry, you're right on the money here. Hello, Pilates with Jen. So happy to see you. Another thing I'd keep in mind is as we're looking at Larry knows his stuff, but LVP could easily be added there. So it's a real nitpick, but it just really strengthens what you've titled, what you described. I love how you're using some of the YouTube shopping features. LVP, luxury vinyl planks, are very popular. However, they have a lot of problems. In this video, I'll demonstrate the difference between LVP and laminate flooring. Which flooring type is right for you? Notice how Larry immediately, multiple times, you. He's putting the value to me, the viewer. Larry, you're a master at this. You've really thought of this. But a little nitpick for Larry. Where's my pinned comment, Larry? Just food for thought. Overall, not bad, not bad. So, I would also say, as we're looking here, you know, Larry, you've mastered especially knowing how to talk about your topic, bring it up organically in video, and you've done it so many times that YouTube knows for sure by not only looking at the image, this thumbnail, before you buy, and don't buy LVP flooring. This is perfect. As an entry level laser, man, Larry, I bought one recently. I really needed this video a few years ago. But this one, I would say, is not as well described, right? So it's about practicing this. I would describe it as well as you did the other video. This one you got lazy. It's about consistency, Larry. What about this one? How's this one described? All right, this one is really well described, Larry. You can't do this to me. Easy fix for sagging doors. Oh, because I know this one did very well. Why? Because a lot of people, finally, someone who's offering good information. That You can fix sagging doors with only a wrench. It's quick, it's easy, and this is a problem people search up all the time. This is something I've actually looked up many times. It's a general term that maybe not for, but look at this. It has high volume. It's an easy DIY fix. It's something that bothers people daily. It's one of those very simple terms that has simple appeal, and you do it in such a easy, quick way. And let's go look at your transcript. Do you have this problem with one of your doors? You can't fix a sacking door? I would fix that to be sagging. And see, right here, this from Jen is why this blew up. I need my husband to watch this. I have friends I can send this video to. What you did here, Larry, is you found a topic that hits to the core of people's homes that frustrates the hell out of them. I have doors that don't sag, but they stick on close. And that's not a sagging door. Maybe it is. But it feels sticky when I try to open it. It like sticks to the frame, and maybe you have the fix. Maybe this is the fix to that. But you have to understand, this one is a broad appeal. This is what I would call hero content. So now my question is, if you look at what the most replayed is, this is an easy fix. This is one of those videos that I literally could do. And it's so quick, so easy. You don't waste my time. This doesn't surprise me how well this did. This is the equivalent to how to tie a tie. Everyone has had a sagging door at one part of their lives, and they wanted it fixed. And if this showed up in a homepage and you say easy fix for sagging doors, you're not overselling me anything here also, mind you. It is exactly what it is. And may I say, a compelling thumbnail. No more sagging doors. Simple, has a solution, looks easy to do, under 2 minutes, let's click. That's why. This thumbnail is not the most in-depth or designed, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. This is a killer video, killer thumbnail, and based on the comments. And again, if only Larry could remember to pin every comment as well as he did. You tell me the next quickly fix doors that won't close properly. So Larry's already fixed another problem. Now, the problem is, this one is 6 minutes. It's a lot harder to recommend for YouTube. This one, you're talking about multiple problems it could have, I'm assuming. And that is not the same as the other one where it seems to only be talking about one fix. Larry, another trend right now that is a home security but an easy DIY that I highly recommend you jump on is that a lot of people are learning that the screws that are at the front door of their homes are not the most secure because they're little screws. And people are doing their own DIY improvements on buying longer, thicker screws, so it's harder if someone is trying to break into their home. That's a DIY I'm sure you could easily talk about. It's very timely in the state of America, at least. And it's good home defense. It's a simple DIY. People feel accomplished, and it's talking about doors. Now, here's the problem, though. You don't want to get stuck in the door niche. I always say some people have so many windows, not enough doors. Wow. See, I knew it, Larry. I know your stuff. And look at this. I'm sending this to my husband. Larry, that alone, the ability for someone to watch and go, I've got to send this. You made a good YouTube video when someone watches it and go, I have to send this to someone. If you get that response from your audience from a video you've made, study why they want to send it to someone. Can you easily recreate that subject or topic? And third, is the valuable experience finally? Oh, relief. Relief is such a powerful reason that people share. Fixing a saggy door, which is what Larry, aka HomeRapidRepair, is on his YouTube channel, is why that video is a breakout, and you can break out your own videos if you have that kind of focus. So Larry, great job here. You asked me to take a look. Larry, I think this is, you've seen some harsh grades, Larry. It's an A+, Larry. It's an A+. And I'll go you a step further. Taking that green, giving you an A+ in your own color there, Larry. That is a great indicator. Shares matter. Not only if you're a company, but as a content creator. You're very welcome, Larry. Look, you know your stuff. I want a door playlist. That's some homework. Larry thought he's out of the homework. He's not. Where's my door playlist? Maybe it exists. I haven't checked. I can be wrong. Does Larry have a door playlist? Larry, your homework is a door playlist. No, it does. And you know what? I can't stress this enough. Sharing, especially, is one of the most important signals, because for YouTube, it could start a watch session. It matters a lot. Don't be afraid of watch sessions. Not yet. We'll work on it. You can DIY it. I can't wait to have as many subscribers as you. You know, Pilates with Jen, Larry has been at it for a while, but if you really want to know what makes Larry, and I'm sorry, HomeRapidRepair, I'm going to have to show you, he has never lost focus on who he's trying to help. Home improvement videos for do-it-yourselfers and everyone. This is such a great about. It's such a simple mission statement. Rapid repairs for electrical, plumbing, heating. These are great channel keywords that then, if people are looking for these, makes sense. Larry, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. You didn't have to do that, but I greatly appreciate it. Larry, you are one of the best when it comes to it. I love looking at your channel because you take everything so seriously. My name is Larry, and I'm a licensed contractor with over 2 decades of experience. And so all of a sudden, Larry has described himself, he has put channel keywords here, and he's given his experience. Here we celebrate everything DIY and everyday home repairs. Whether you're a new do-it-yourselfer or have years experience, you'll find something here of value. This right here. We celebrate everything DIY. We don't discriminate. We don't let anyone out. Please know your own limits. YouTube videos are never a substitute. Yes. Yes. Great caveats. And look, Larry is doing great. But Larry will tell you it took him time. He didn't just wake up one day and have all the success. Larry's a great example of what time, constant keeping up at what you know, and finding ways to make series, right? Like with the door stuff, Larry has a door series he could do. He has a siding series. There's so many things in the DIY space. But for Kathehfit, there's so much you can do with dance. With the type beats we looked at earlier, there's so many different type beats you can have. I love getting a chance to look at this. He's got a foot in the door, says Beanie. Absolutely. But you know, another one that is a common, you know, there are sagging doors, there are squeaky stairs, which people, if you want something that people can easily share, Larry, think of those little annoying things in a home that is actually quite easy to fix, but if you don't know how to fix it, it could be impossible. Those that relief people feel. Relief. There's something, I learned this from Mark Roper actually at Adobe Max. It is something that he said there are 9 psychological reasons people share things. And one of them is a sense of relief. And that video gives such relief. The fact that someone in chat, shout outs to Jen, said that she would share that video with her husband meant that she felt relief when she saw that. She felt like, oh my God, this is a real problem that someone could fix, and it could be us. And you're empowering people. When you empower the people in your audience to feel that they can do it themselves, and dang it, you're a can-do creator, Larry, just like me. Because that's what I believe in. Anyone can do this. You know, people remember my whole little mantra, if I can, you can too, but I mean it. Larry's living it. So here is what Mark Roper says are some of the things you should know when it comes to what makes people click on a YouTube video or thumbnail. They're visceral responses. They make you laugh. They make you curious. They make you angry, amazed, sad, shocked, inspired, feel vindicated. You have given people vindication, Larry, that they can fix that damn door. I'm chiming in with a haven't you people ever heard of fixing that damn door? No, it's much better to face these kind of things, though, with a sense of poise and rationality. And if you know, you know. Shout outs to my Panic fans. Painted shut windows, broad appeal topics that everyone struggles with. Yes. Celebrate everything 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. And hello, Kenneth. Happy to have you here in chat. But yes, if you want to take anything, this is from Mark Roper. He talked about this at Adobe Max. In full transparency, Adobe sent me there. They're a sponsor of the channel, but these matter. Okay, Panic of Can. Panic at the disco, panic at the YouTube channels. How about that? So this is so important. Visceral responses. If it makes you laugh, curious, angry, amazed, sad, shocked, inspired, feel vindicated. The red, fixing the door without triggering the content moderation with those bleeping words. Yes. But these matter, these emotions. Videos are an emotional experience. The next thing I want to look at, if you want your channel to be pulled up, we're looking at fit. We're getting these things in tip-top fit shape. HomeRapidRepair has gotten one of the A's of the night, and it's very important we acknowledge that. It's A+ grade when it comes to what we're looking at here today. But yes, and I can't stress this enough, those emotions, those visceral response, they are what get people to, that's what a hero video does. If you're wondering why your video is blowing up or doing better than you might normally thought, it's probably because it elicits a visceral response. Your video made someone laugh, curious, angry, amazed, sad, shocked, inspired, or they felt vindicated. Those are some of the visceral responses that not only makes a video do better than expected, but can help you go viral. That was learned by Mark Roper, who shared those stats in a talk at Adobe Max. And so when you're trying to figure out why is my video doing better than it normally would have, which one of those did it make you and your audience feel? Figure that out. Can you recreate it? That's the difference between a normal video and a video that blows out of the water in expectation. Hope that helps. Now, I also want to say that the thing is, I've had videos that blew other videos out of the water, and I have videos that I didn't expect to do anything. But it solved a problem, and people came back. Larry, I know, I've talked to people about Larry. I love like creators in the space that just get it. Larry, you've been brought up a lot. Beanie's been brought up, Kathehfit. That's how I know I love this YouTube space. So many people in the chats have been brought up in genuine ways, whether by myself or others, to say just how proud they are of their content and how cool it is what you do. Making content on YouTube is deceptively hard, but appearingly easy. And the hardest part about YouTube, now this is some real conversations, getting over my own issues of myself to make something to help someone else has been one of the longest journeys I've been on in this entire YouTube game. YouTube is about not only you, the creator, but you and the audience. And when you figure out how to not only make the audience and yourself happy, that's when that real magic happens. And it's cool. It's a cool feeling. Another thing, and I want to, go ahead and take a look. We've had multiple people enter. Let's go ahead and take a look at Fit. Who is going to be pulled up? Beanie Draws is going to be up next. But don't worry, folks. If you didn't know, we do channel reviews, and I'm bringing back channel review streams. Probably going to try once a month to bring these back. Have fun, go deep like this. Let me know. This is a little different of a channel review stream, but what are your thoughts of it? I know what I kind of been thinking, and it helps me better understand what I'm trying to do, but do you find this useful? Are these kind of things, do you get happy to see them? They help me know and help make better content for you as well. I didn't submit, but I'll take it. LOL. Ready for the can wrath, Beanie. Now, Beanie, if you don't want one, I think it's just because you typed in Kathehfit. That's also very likely. But if you're trying to get a channel review and you didn't get to do one live, consider joining our Discord. We have a link in the description. Or you could also, if you're wanting more regular help and coaching, we offer group coaching. So we have different tiers. Our free tier gets you started with our Discord. It gets you started with a member Q&A area. You get access to our newsletter. You get access to a channel setup guide. Do this before you launch your channel. And we have all of this. Make sure this is linked in the description, but we've helped thousands of YouTube channels over the years. And so it's just something I want to make sure that we put here. If you're looking to join, we have links in the description, but we do a lot of this for free over here and on my server. Like, I believe that if, YouTube should be affordable and accessible, and if I can help, I try to help. And I love helping creators. It's been, honestly, in my career, it's been one of the highlights. I love it so much. And I genuinely am grateful I get to do this, and as long as I've done it. And whether it's on this channel or another channel you've seen me on, I appreciate it all the same. It really does matter. Now, Beanie. I know what Beanie does. Beanie draws. I know what Beanie do. Beanie draws. Now, Beanie, I know that you have been, taking a little bit of hiatus. Last video was 3 years ago, but I know I've seen some shorts from you. I have. I do think your shorts are really good. Drawing kind of shorts can do very well. This was last posted 4 years ago, though. Beanie, you've always had a very solid channel. If you ever want to get back to it, you could. I love your banner. It is hand-drawn, handcrafted by Mr. Beanie himself. Let's draw some dinosaurs. Said dinosaurs. Who is it? Beanie draws. What he's offering. Who it is. Things here. Beanie draws, I would just add to the name here, celebrates the nostalgic love of Jurassic Park through fan art. Bam. Pretty simple. Could maybe say some more a little bit deeper in. This channel works as an archive gallery where you can learn to draw. This is perfect. I would just maybe put your name up front. Not bad. You may have seen my drawings floating around in Google image searches or in Pinterest, but you can watch the videos. Perfect. My aim is to teach beginners the basics. Great. Not bad at all. Support local artists. Real art, not AI. You can't spell Beanie without AI. He's not going to like that at all. I know you don't. I know better, Beanie. I'm just having a little laugh. Having a gaggle. Live? I did like when you did this. I would love to see some live streams. I want to see some more posts. It's been 2 weeks. I know you've been posting. I see them every now and then in my own feed, and I always get happy. Get excited. I will say, let's look at your last video. Did Beanie accidentally have good SEO? Okay, I'm not going to get copyright struck, so we're going to look at this one instead. I'm not showing another trailer here because that would not end up well for me. All right. Oop, that did not work as I wanted to. It's okay. There we go. That could work. Maybe Beanie dances while Kathy draws. Although it's not fair because Kathy can draw. She's a very talented artist. It's actually probably more of a disadvantage for Beanie, but I'd be down. So let's see. No transcript. Seems it's just music in this one. So one thing that can also help Beanie is that YouTube and Google uses Google Image AI to see if what it's titled matches what's being shown. And I mean, you say it's a fluffy raptor. This is a fluffy raptor. It's just a solid art video. Well described. Love the questions. Awesome drawing. People are happy to see you there. Love to see it. People show up for you, Beanie. They miss you. So, Beanie, when it comes to what your audience is, who you're helping, all your descriptions are good. Your favorites are pretty good. I would say these are videos that you watch the most. They represent the best. I would say these are the dinosaur videos that you have watched. It's just a small nitpick, but there you go. Spinosaurus, really well. You have it focused, very clear what you're doing. This is really solid. Beanie, again, you can't complain. You're doing great work. Solid A. I would go to A+, but because you haven't posted lately, you can only get an A. And again, like Beanie always says, you can't spell Beanie draws without AI. He never says this. But I feel like Beanie and I, we've met in person. We've actually hung out. Beanie hanging out with you in Australia with Nick and Dean Nimmin was some of the most fun. That was such an amazing time. I got to meet Chantel again. Man, times are flying, but the good times and the laughs are here to stay. Beanie is such a good guy. So again, Beanie has never said that. I just thought it was funny, something I just observed now. But if you would like to be observed here on the show, you always can. And the next way that you can do it is by subscribing and coming to these channel review streams or just general YouTube knowledge streams. The next live stream we're talking about is how to create YouTube playlists. Go deep. We're going to talk about how you can get views. You can do so much. And as always, if I can, I'm Andrew can. If I can, you can too. Take care.